Well, good Tuesday morning to everybody. Actually, I take that back. It's Tuesday afternoon, and I need to go to the pharmacy, get my prescription, and pick up some barbecue sauce. And I decided to take the long scenic route and talk about this motorcycle for a minute. There's something I want to discuss. I got a comment on it on one of my previous videos with the plastic dip, and one of my other videos on yesterday's ride to Kerr Lake. And so the first topic I wanted to talk about was the plastic dip that this motorcycle has. I got a comment on the previous video that said that they like the blue, but I gotta say, I mentioned it before, but this blue isn't actually blue. It's somewhat purple. It has this purplish tint. But I think when you watch this video on whatever screen, whether it's your phone or your computer, I think the screen does not capture the color of the bike like it really looks in person. Just like when I bought the plastic dip on the website, dipyourcar.com, it's called Flex Blue. And on the computer screen, it looks blue. A really nice shade of blue, in my opinion. I like the darker blues. But then when you spray it on the bike, it doesn't actually come out the same color as it looks on the computer screen. On top of that, it has this purplish tint to it. And someone had also made a comment that said, well, I could spray the glossifier over it, and instead of having this matte look, it would be a glossy blue, which is true, I could, but that means I would have to take everything off again, and I really don't want to do that. It's kind of a pain in the butt, to be honest with you. It's not hard, but it's just time consuming. And so I decided to just stay with the matte look. Also, the green that I had on here before had a smoother finish. This one has a little more texture. When you touch it, it's a little rougher. I wouldn't say it's not like sandpaper rough or anything like that. It's just got a rougher feel to it. I don't know what I could compare it to. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I could compare it to, but it definitely has a rougher finish on it. And so, do I like it? I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air about it. But I do know that this blue, because it looks a little bit purplish, I'm not a big fan of it. So I think I'm going to end up going back to white and just taking it off. The original color of this bike is white. And on the side in black, it has the Kawasaki, and the S, I think, is black with some green trim, or maybe the whole thing is green. I can't remember. But I think I'm just going to go back to the white. Another reason I think I'm going to go back to the white, and I'll show you in a second. I'm going to pull over here to this parking lot. But the other day, right after I had a plastic dip, a friend of mine and I went out for a motorcycle ride. He actually rode this bike, and I rode my XSR 900. And something flew up and chipped the color on the gas tank. And I'll show you where in just a second. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So I'm going to pull over right here and show you what it looks like. But I don't know if you can see this on the screen, but right here it chipped a little bit. And so what I did was I took some more plastic dip and just sprayed it over top of it. And I figured if I put enough layers on, it would even it out, because obviously it has, you know, a little bit of thickness. So when it came off, it went down to the white, and now it looks like there's a divot right there. And so I sprayed a little bit over top of it. It didn't fix that issue. Of course, I didn't do like 7 or 8 coats. Also, what it did, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it looks a little glossier here than it does here and all around it. So you can definitely tell that this was corrected. And this, oh, and I did a little bit here on the side, and the same thing, it looks a little shinier here. So I don't know if it's something I did different or did wrong, or maybe I didn't shake the can up enough. I'm not sure. So all that put together, I think I'm just going to take this off and just go back to the white. I don't mind the white, I just don't prefer it. I just never been a big fan of white motorcycles, but it doesn't look bad. The other problem I ran across with this bike is, of course, this was my error, but on this side there's 4 screws, 2 on each side, that hold the fender on. Well, as you can see, there's one missing. It's because I stripped it out, and fortunately I didn't strip the bracket that has the threads in it. I stripped the actual screw, so all I need is to get one more screw, but they come in a set of 4 and they're like $3, something like that. So I'm just gonna go order some up. You can get them on Bike Bandit, or I guess you could go to Kawasaki. I'm just gonna go to the local Kawasaki dealer and just get it there. The other problem is someone said, well, why don't you just gloss it over? It would look good, and that's true. And I mentioned in my plastic dip video that I was going to take this trim piece, or one of them, and spray the glossifier, just see what it looks like glossy, and then decide on either the matte look or the gloss look. But honestly, I think I'm just going to go back to the white. Or maybe I'll think about it a little bit and see if there's another color that I would like to try. But that'll be the last time, because as I mentioned in my other video, in order to take this fender off, you have to drop the wheel off, because there's a divot on both sides right there where it divots in, and you can't maneuver this fender out from between the forks. There's not enough space. It hits the wheel, and here, this protrusion from the fork, and you can't twist it and maneuver it. So you pretty much you have to take the wheel off and slide it straight out, the fender, I mean. So to go through all that, you know, you got to take this plastic piece off. You got to take the seat off. You got to take all these brackets off. There's bushings behind it you got to take out. It's kind of tedious. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Not hard, just time consuming. So that being said, I think I'm just gonna take it all off. But before I do that, I'm gonna decide if I want to go with a different color. And there's multiple colors on there, so I guess I could pick any other color. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. And oh yeah, so you can see I'm wearing short sleeves today and no gloves. Someone made an immediate comment on my video from yesterday when I rode the Kerr Lake that I don't have gloves on. It's because I forgot it, to be honest with you. I just ran out the door, and by the time I realized I forgot my gloves, I was already a couple miles from home, and I just didn't feel like going back home. Just pure laziness on my part. I know it's dangerous and all that, I understand. But I just risk it. And today, I'm just gonna go out in short sleeves and just squid it. And I know I'm gonna get another comment on it, but it's all good. It's all good. I understand the risk involved. I know. I've been riding long enough, I know. But today I'm just gonna be that guy. So let the comments commence. Anyway, if you like this video, please subscribe. I'll make more videos. But yeah, so that's the Vulcan, and the issue with the color I have is that I'm not a fan of the purplish look to it. But it's all good. And what else did I want to talk about? There was something else I wanted to say, and I lost my train of thought. Other than this motorcycle, it's really cool, and it's really quick. For being a 650, this thing's awesome. I really like it. So, except for that stupid loud Dan Moto Highwayman exhaust. Some people really like this. I can't stand how loud it is. It's ridiculous. But hey, to each his own, right? I do like the popping sound from when you let off the throttle. That's kind of nice. Oh, and by the way, the 2 springs that hold the exhaust pipe together to the headers, I lost them. And I bought new ones. And those, I'm glad to say, are still there. So I don't know what happened with the original springs. Maybe they broke. I don't know. Maybe I didn't snap them on right. Who knows? Either way, they were gone. There's another spring, the third one, the smaller one, that holds the canister on to the mid pipe. That one never popped off. That one's fine. So just the 2 front ones popped off. So anyway, they're still there. They didn't go nowhere. So anyway, I'm just riding off to the store. I need to get some barbecue sauce, and I gotta stop by and get a prescription from the pharmacy. And I thought I'd take the Vulcan and do a scenic route, and just talk about the motorcycle a little bit based on the comments I had. And I'm just curious, anyone watching have anything they want to talk about this motorcycle, either this one or my XSR 900? If you have a comment or you have a question, let me know. I'd be glad to talk about it. I love motorcycles and everything about motorcycles, so any conversation that has to do with motorcycles or anything, motorcycle parts or riding or anything of that nature, fair game to talk about it. But anyway, so I'm gonna make another video pretty soon about the future of this color on this Vulcan and what I'm gonna do to it, whether it's gonna come off completely or I'm gonna try a different color for the third time, and we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna look back on that website and see if there's any other color that I think would look pretty good. And I think someone made a comment that they ordered plastic dip for their bike. I'm assuming for the actual color of the bike, not like the wheels or some trim. I'd be curious to see, you know, what it looks like, what color they chose. I forget who it was that made that comment. I'll have to look back on there, but I'd be interested to see what their bike turns out like. So either way, that's the status of this bike. And then stay tuned, subscribe to my next videos, or my channel I should say, because I got some videos coming out about next week. I think Tuesday of next week. I convinced my two friends that you've seen on a previous video to ride to Tellico Plains and down to Ducktown, Tennessee, which is like at the very bottom of the southeast corner of Tennessee near the North Carolina-Georgia border. And I just think it's really cool, a town called Ducktown. So I'm gonna go get a picture of the bike. I'm gonna ride my XSR because on the way there, we're gonna ride through Tail of the Dragon again. So if you want to see that ride, it should be very scenic, very cool. So I'm gonna ride the XSR 900, and we'll go through there. And Highway 64 out in the western part of North Carolina is really nice. You go through a town called Highlands and Cashiers, and through those sections is really, really twisty and very, very scenic. It also runs partially along the Nantahala River, and it's a very well-known whitewater rafting river. I do hear it's frigid cold. Obviously, it's a mountain river, so it's frigid cold, but people love going whitewater rafting. So anyway, the scenery should be great. Stay tuned for that video coming up. Should be next week. I think it's Tuesday, the 16th, whatever day that is. I'm pretty sure it's Tuesday. So we'll be doing that ride on Tuesday. Video will probably come out next Wednesday. And so if you want to see that, stay tuned. I'll cut it up into multiple pieces because I just don't like making long, super long videos. People don't seem to stay tuned to the end. So I'll just break them up into smaller clips and just post multiple videos. One of them will be dedicated strictly to the Tail of the Dragon, and then the rest I'll figure out. I'll split it up somehow. Anyway, if there's anything else you want to see or interested in seeing, let me know, and I'll post it. But anyway, I think that's it for now. If I remember what else I was going to talk about, I'll do another video. I just don't remember what it was. That's what you get when you get old. You start forgetting things. Your memory goes to shit. Anyway, stay tuned for the next one, and thanks for watching.